happens to have a dialogue with a Muslim, maybe in the car, and it leads to something else, before you know it, they won't say they were just dialoguing before it led to issue of led to an intense issue. But people will say Muslims are fighting against Christians.
Well, I was going to ask you, as a sociologist, let's look at the just terrain, still staying with the security issues. Let's look at what, aside from the fact, the religious side of it, what else is it that could have brought about this dislocation, as you said, in the social strata in Jos? Because Jos used to be seen as the haven of peace. Many people go to Jos. So what do you think could have brought about that dislocation in the social strata?
It is purely power, the struggle for power. Within the locals, this one wants to be the head, that wants to take control of the land. It's just struggle for power. They are being egocentric about it. It's just a struggle for power. Okay. They want to control.
If that being the case, is it military force that will restore that balance? Is it military force?
No, at this stage, it is military force will go a long way.
Are we not undermining the importance or the essence of the previous meetings, panels, commissions that have been set up in Jos, all the papers? Because the president says, on the one hand, bring up all of those resolutions, as it were, let's implement it. And in another breath, the CDS take charge. So critics of the government say government they wasted so much time. They got no reason to allow that matter go, and the fact that they know what's going on, much more than they letting the people know. There
are some people that are just professional critics.
Don't they have a valid point in this case?
They have points, but not valid. They have points, but they don't have valid points. But when you see a government takes an action, government has they have every fact. The president has every fact on his table.
Okay, talk about unemployment. I know this directly also concerns you. 50 billion, last time we checked, the 2011 budget was what was budgeted for the government to use in, to some extent, tackling unemployment in the country. And today we hear that 9 months on, there's a record of implementation of the 2011 budget. What are we doing?
In that area, I think we are advancing and we are moving forward.
Really?
Yeah, with the appointment of the new Minister of Finance, since we move forward, there's going to be transparency in government. You know, when she was there, when during the era of Obasanjo, there was acute transparency.
No, but would you be satisfied if you were the one who brought out 50 billion to solve a problem, and the people don't seem to see any results whatsoever?
It's not as if the 50 billion has been spent.
What happened to it?
It's not been spent. It's there. You know, before you do anything, you plan. He that fails to plan plans to fail.
No, Mr. Bamgbade, a 12-month budget, a 12-month plan, 9 months down the line, nothing to show for it, and just talking about planning.
That is why the president has directed the ministers to really hit the ground running.
Okay, so do we admit failure?
No, that's not failure. That's not failure. By the time you see the effects of what they've been doing, maybe in the other 3 months, you see the effects of what they've been doing. And I want to assure you that sometimes when you say a budget has not been fully implemented, you need to go to the basis and see.
There is no record of implementation. So
now these are experts talking. In any case, she's not just a lay person on the street. She's got access to the books, facts and figures, which she did say. But again, if you did say, well, we need that to give them more time. Some say, what's this talk about celebrating your first 100 days in office? That is more than enough time. That's the way they do it in the United States. And if we have taken that kind of culture, then we should be able to see some kind of visible improvement and developments in the first 100 days in office.
I like that, your question. I like that thing you just said now. Let me just take it in another dimension. Osama bin Laden was captured and destroyed and killed just within an hour. But how long did it take America? It took America about 8 years to get it done. So I'm not saying I'm not saying demand is slow. I'm not saying, but the issue is you have to plan and plan tactically. There are things you don't just rush and do. You end garbage in, garbage out. If you feed in something, you take your time. If you are talking of fraud, I will say something else. But this government is trying to clear out issue of fraud.
Okay. Nigeria, before the last election, the Nigerians basically were disillusioned with leadership, were disillusioned with government. And one of the statements the president made was, in his inaugural statement, he said, "This is the time for transformation."
Yeah.
He said, "Weep no more," paraphrased here.
Yeah.
"Weep no more, things are going to change. It's the era of transformation." That's what he said. Based on what you heard in that media chat, do you think we're on track towards transformation?
Yeah, we are fully on track. Weep no more, fine. In the area of petroleum distribution, now I and you, we have fuel. We fuel our car easily.
But my mother doesn't have kerosene.
She has now. Let her go to any
she
NNPC
doesn't.
depot. Let her go. I'm telling you now authoritatively. Let her go to any NNPC depot.
I am telling you authoritatively. She's gone to an NPC depot. She doesn't have kerosene.
When was that?
Where? Are you asking where or when?
When did she go?
This week.
This week?
Yes.
Where did she go?
You're asking me. I'm telling you. You're saying that we're on the track for transformation.
I know what I'm saying.
Are you in my mother's village to know that there is fail, or do you now work with NNPC?
No, I was in Akure just 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I saw a particular place earmarked for petroleum distribution for the masses. Every NNPC depot now.
Okay, so my mother should leave her village and go all the way to Akure to that.
No, there could be an arrangement.
Okay, tell us about Lagos.
About Lagos?
Yes.
Go to any NNPC depot too. But you know, Lagos, the population of Lagos is not as you see it. Lagos is highly populated. And NNPC, the way they are doing it, there is room for improvement.
Okay, there's room.
There is room for improvement.
Let me come in here, because when talking about all of this, the president talked about security, power, unemployment, well, the single-term proposal, which some are already saying that shouldn't have been one of his talk on that particular chat, because well, we have more than enough on the plate to look at rather than talk about single-term proposal. But again, be that as it may, do you think with that major issue of insecurity that everyone has been talking about, can we possibly be talking about job creation where there is an insecurity problem? Talk about agriculture when you're not safe? Talk about the same kerosene. Can you go out to get the kerosene if you are in danger? Are we handling the problem of security the way it should be?
Security issues is not an issue that can be discussed on the piece or newspaper, neither in the media. It is being handled professionally, and it's being handled tactically. You will see changes.
So yesterday we saw some people before the magistrate court in Abuja accused of being members of Boko Haram and accused of carrying out some bombings in Suleja and some other places in the Federal Capital Territory by the SSS. They brought them out. You say that's the way to go.
It's evolving. With time, you see actions. Many of such things will be unveiled. So as people are working, they are really working. I will tell you they are working. I